So, hello everyone, and welcome to Country Music News International. My name is Nigel Sharpe, and today I am speaking to Mr. Benny Allen. Now, normally I have these transatlantic video calls with good folks in the country music scene, but today we are traveling to the other side of the world. Yes, we're in Australia, amazingly enough. So, hi Benny, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, mate. And I've got to say, with that introduction, I've got to go with a g'day, Nige. How you doing?
Yeah, good eye here. Good eye, mate. Yes, I remember that. So, tell us a bit about yourself, Benny. Who are you? What do you do? Why are you sitting here at the other end of this video call?
Oh, look, I've been, I'm going to say, extremely lucky in the last few years, Nigel. But I think there's an element of hard work and an element of of enjoying what I do. But I've sort of fell into the country music scene about 3.5 years ago here in Australia. I'd sort of spent my misspent youth playing in pub rock bands and alternative sort of stuff, the grunge music and things in my youth, and Nirvana and Pearl Jam and things like that. And sat at home. I'm a piano player as my initial weapon of choice, and so grew up playing the Beatles and Billy Joel and Elton John and those sort of things that my parents listened to. And I've always written songs, but I never put them out into the world. And so about 3.5 years ago, I sat with a mate who I'd been in a band with, and I played him one of my songs, and he said, "That sounds like a country song." And so we went and recorded it just for a bit of fun. And next thing you know, I was getting played on country radio shows here in Australia. I went up to Tamworth, which is where our big national country music festival is held each year, for the first time in 2018, and just realized that that's where I belong. Uh, I've always been a storyteller with my music,
Right.
and when I'm writing my own songs, and I think that's the thing that I really found with the country music scene is that the storytelling aspect is something that really connects with the audience, that like country music. And that doesn't really matter what subgenre of country it sort of falls into. That everyone still likes the other subgenres of country music, and we all enjoy what we're doing. And yeah, I just really fell into it and found where I belong.
Talking about the Australian country scene. Now, I've got to be honest, it's something that I don't know a lot about. So, I mean, Australian country artists. Well, I know of Keith Urban, but he's not in Australia. So, as far as I can work out, he's mostly in the USA. Yeah, so I mean, if you're in the Australian country scene, what do you actually do? Do you have a lot of gigs, a lot of places where you can play? You mentioned this festival in Tamworth. Where's Tamworth in relation to where you are right now?
Well, Tamworth is in, I'm going to say, north central New South Wales.
Right.
So, sort of, I think it's about 400 kilometres from Sydney, and smack bang in the middle of proper country Australia.
Okay.
And it's known as the capital of country music here in Australia. And so it's where, as I said, our national festival, the Tamworth Country Music Festival, that's held each year. They have approximately, I think it's about 50,000 people attend the festival each year. Runs over, I think it's 10 days. And the culmination of that is the presentation of the Golden Guitar Awards, which are sort of our national country music awards each year, which are presented to the who's who of the industry.
Okay. So, as a country musician in Australia, I mean, can you make that a full-time profession?
Look, it's not something that I've even attempted at the moment, Nigel. There are definitely people that are doing it, and we're going to take COVID out of the equation for a second, because it's obviously made things very difficult for anyone that's a full time professional musician. Um, I'm fortunate enough, and I'm saying that in relation to this current scenario. I'm a tradesman before I was any sort of professional musician, and so I'm still able to make a good living out of being on the tools. And in some ways, I'm lucky that the music's then at a stage where it sort of pays for itself in terms of being an independent musician. Self funds the recordings and lets me keep working towards putting out more music each year.
So let's get to songwriting. Now, you mentioned just now that you sat down with a friend and wrote a song, and he says, "Hey, that's a country song." Um, what is actually the songwriting process for you? I mean, is there a process, or does it just kind of happen when you don't least expect it?
Look, yeah, I'm definitely not one of the more scholarly songwriters that sits there with that. I need to write a song every day, and I need to keep working the muscle. I'm very much an organic songwriter. Um, I'll have that moment of inspiration, the little epiphany, the hook, whatever it might be. That might even be the starting phrase for a first verse or something, and that if I'm really inspired and I've got time, I just go with it. And usually, the song will pour out of me over the course of an hour or so, and be that 99% complete. Um, Now and then, when you don't have time, of course, you have to make notes and scribble. Used to scribble on notepads all the time, but now it goes straight into the iPhone, and you go
Okay.
back to it when you do have time, and you run with it from there.
Is it something that you do, primarily by yourself, or do you, work with other people?
I'm very much been a solo songwriter to date. I've done a couple of co-writes, and co-writing is something that is very well recognised, both within the country music scene, but also here in Australia as well. Um, for me, it's more about having the opportunity to do co-writes, and um, it's not something, I guess, that I've probably made time for. It's something I definitely want to do more of. And not so much even for co-writing songs for me to perform, because I'm quite happy with the body of work I'm accumulating when I have my own time and things come to me. But I think there's definitely an aspect to co-writing that stretches you in terms of your thought process, and as well to be working with other people and to be helping them create songs that mean something to them is something that I think would be a very special thing to be doing.
Yeah, now you mentioned about release events for your recordings, and I did read that you've received a bunch of awards for various songs and so on. Tell us a, a little bit about that.
Look, it's one of the it's quite a humbling thing, as you'd imagine, Nigel, when you find that people are really enjoying your music, because at the end of the day, we create it just because it's in us. We just have to write the songs. We play in the lounge room because we love playing. You play in front of people because you love playing, and to find that other people in the audience and the fans are really enjoying that is a really humbling thing. And I was lucky enough this year to pick up a Australian Country Music People's Choice Award for the best bush ballad. So bush ballads are a specific subgenre here in Australia, generally based on sort of the traditional Australian bush, the pioneers and that sort of thing. And
Are we
um,
are we talking Waltzing Matilda? Is that a Bush song?
probably similar stylings. That's probably a good way of thinking about it when you're uh, not familiar with the other stuff. So yeah, very very similar sort of stuff in terms of those bush poets and that sort of thing as well. Yeah, so yeah, picked up People's Choice Award for that, and was fortunate enough the year before to pick up People's Choice Award for the best music video for song I wrote called "Never Knew I Was Country," which sort of it tells the story of how I fell into country music to start with.
Anyway,
There we go.
seeing as we're in Australia now, this has got nothing to do with country music, but I just had to do this. Here's a little quiz question for you. I'm going to pop this picture up on the screen for you, and you're going to have to tell me what this animal is. So I hope you can see that now.
Oh, I can definitely see that. So that would be a quokka.
It is. Well done. You win today's star prize. I
That's
can.
that's just proving that I'm from Australia. Is that
That's it.
correct?
Yeah. That was an Australian quiz question. Anyway, so I'm going to close it out here. I'm going to say this is Country Music News International. My name's Nigel Sharpe, and I've had the pleasure today of speaking with Mr. Benny Allen. Benny, thanks again very much for joining us. We really do appreciate you taking the time out to do this with us, and we'd like to wish you all the best for the future, and maybe we'll meet up again sometime soon. That would be very nice.
That would. Thank you so much, Nigel.
Thank you, and goodbye.